Former President Thabo Mbeki is in Tshwane this afternoon, engaging with ANC supporters ahead of the May 29 polls. The former president campaigned for the ANC for the first time in Soweto last week. For more on this, we're joined by Professor Kedibone Phago, ahead of the NWU School of Government Studies, the University of the Northwest. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr.
First and foremost, we see that President Mbeki, or former President Mbeki, is quite busy in these streets, as are the ANC heavyweights, the stalwarts, as we call them. Now, just a few minutes ago, he was addressing the media where he indicated that there's no comradeship between himself and former President Jacob Zuma. What are your sentiments on that in light of recent developments?
Yes, Master, I think we know that there has been a serious fallout between Jacob Zuma and Thabo Mbeki, which actually were very close before, very, very close allies in the movement. And we remember that this was also mainly because of the Schabir Shaik case in 2005, when the Schabir Shaik, who was the financial advisor to Jacob Zuma, was charged and was sentenced to prison, and it is on that Thabo Mbeki, dismissed Jacob Zuma from his cabinet. It is on that basis that the two gentlemen had a complete fallout, and I think that really, opened a can of worms for the two leaders in the ANC. So he is, to my knowledge, absolutely right that it is blood on the floor for the two of them.
Well, if that's the case, surely the blood has been on the floor. I mean, you can say historically they are comrades, but I mean, this is not the case, isn't it?
Is because I think for what has happened over the years since Jacob Zuma took over the Polokwane post-Polokwane conference, and the ANC has really, in my view, taken a completely different path, and mainly the destruction of our public institutions. And we remember the main issue of the state capture. And people, the formation of COPE as well during that period. So we have seen a serious division in the party post Thabo Mbeki presidency, but also Jacob Zuma's strengthening and tightening the grip on the party for his 2 terms as the president. Of course, we know how it ended.
All right. Whilst we're on the subject of former President Jacob Zuma, we know that he has accused 6 constitutional judges of bias and has requested that they recuse themselves from the Section 47 matter. What are your thoughts on this as we weigh in on this matter?
Me, that is typical Jacob Zuma, and we have seen him over many years playing victim in the whole, political sphere. Every time a matter comes, it becomes a delay, and it becomes this kind of tactics. So there's nothing new actually from what we are seeing, and it is in the nature of the man, and I don't think we should be surprised at all. But I think it's quite important for South Africans to be civil and understand that it is in our best interest as citizens to understand that our future lies in the reputation of our institutions. So anyone who's going to stand up and make accusations against people who are holding these important positions need to be taken to task, and very serious task, so that they are able to give some evidence so that we can see why these kind of accusations.
All right. Now, coming back to the build-up to the 29th of May, the national and provincial elections that will be taking place in South Africa. Now, seeing that the ANC strategy has been to use its legacy members to literally call for votes and get door to door and come on the ground, and is this appealing to the youth, or are they calling for an older generation to vote for the ANC? What are your thoughts around this?
I think ANC is in big trouble, and they need everyone, especially their stalwarts, to come on board, to support them to do whatever they can within their power to garner the votes for these coming elections. But I'm not sure if the kind of method they are using, as you rightly point, that talks to the young people. So I'm sure they also do have other, approaches that appeal to young people, especially social media platforms. But I think you are correct that they need to diversify the manner in which they find themselves going around and mobilizing for the support.
All right. No, thank you so much for your time there, Professor Kedibone Phago, the head of the NWU School of Government Studies, which is a university of the Northwest.